Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're breaking down the latest episode of Miraculous Ladybug Season 6, aka El Prado something. To be honest, I wasn't expecting much since we had absolutely no spoilers or any intel regarding this episode, but damn, it turned out to be the most plot-driven and the most exciting one yet. Nathalie is still plotting. I knew she couldn't be trusted. Marinette is trusting the wrong people. Oh, you feel like Nathalie, she's trusting all the wrong people. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's start from the beginning. This episode is centered around Ivan's family. I like how they're giving more characters to do stuff other than just be there for the sake of being there. And can I just say, I've said this before and I'll say this again, what does Miraculous have against parents? It's like the only person who can have a good family and have a good background is Marinette, the main character. They're basically saying that everyone had it rough, so Chloe isn't the exception. Like, no, you're purposely trying to make everyone's childhood miserable just so that Chloe's doesn't seem that far off. At this point, Marinette really did have the perfect life before becoming Ladybug, because that is literally the only reason she's having trouble right now. Becoming Ladybug is what caused her problem. As for Adrien, he's moved into a new house or something, or maybe just moved into a new room, which is why he doesn't have many things and everything is in boxes. I am sick of Marinette finding out all of Adrien's secrets but not telling him any of it. She finds a letter from Gabriel addressed to Adrien, yet doesn't give it to him, and on top of that reads it. If that's not stalker's behavior, I don't know what is. Not only that, but instead of giving it to Adrien, she goes to Nathalie. Like, why would you need Nathalie's permission for a letter that's not addressed to her? If Gabriel wanted Nathalie to give this letter to Adrien, he would have given it to her in person instead of hiding it somewhere. It was obvious Nathalie wasn't supposed to see that letter in the first place. On top of that, it looks like Nathalie is gently manipulating Marinette. It finally looks like Marinette is second-guessing herself regarding her decision about not telling Adrien the truth. And Nathalie, instead of agreeing with Marinette, tells her that no, aren't we protecting Adrien? Like she did a complete 180. Especially since during the finale, her decision was the complete opposite. Nathalie, what are you hiding? For once, Marinette is doubting her decision of not telling Adrien. With every new episode, Marinette comes closer and closer to revealing everything to Adrien. But something always seems to get in the way. Nathalie, just before Marinette entered the room, she was talking to someone about some sort of meeting that she was supposed to attend. This meeting is probably the exact same meeting that was talked about in the post-credits, the end credits. Which means it's the current day, not a flashback. She definitely has more secrets than we think. And maybe worse than Gabriel. And I have a theory that she originally was looking for the Miraculous themselves, the Ladybug and the cat, and only decided to help Gabriel because he had the resources for it, for the search of the Miraculous.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Why else would she? Falling in love with him was a side gig. It was more of a distraction in her actual end goal. The only reason she went against Gabriel in the first place was because he was risking her life. Otherwise, she really didn't care about anything else. So no, I do not think she should be the one taking care of Adrien. Which, by the way, she is not doing a good job of. In the goddamn letter, Gabriel reveals everything. The fact that he's monarch, the fact that he was doing it to get the Ladybug and the cat more miraculous to save Emily or whatnot. And he wants Adrien to follow in his footsteps, to do whatever it takes to get those miraculous and bring them back. That was his plan the entire time. During the finale where he said he already had his wish and his solution, he always meant to save Nathalie. That was his plan from the start. He knew he couldn't bring back Emily because he was dying himself. He put that letter as a backup, because he obviously knew he was going to lose anyway. Therefore, tricks Marinette into not revealing anything so he could tell Adrien himself. Now, obviously, we hate Gabriel and he's just manipulating Adrien at this point. But what right does Marinette have? Because Gabriel himself wants Adrien to know. So what right does Marinette have keeping it from him? She's doing exactly what Gabriel did, making decisions for him without his input. Who are you to decide what's best for him? Now, I know a lot of you will say she's just protecting him and whatnot. He has free will. He's not controlled anymore. Whatever he decides will be his own decision, and he'll have to live with that consequence. Nathalie at this point is really guilt-tripping Marinette to not revealing anything to Adrien. But here's another thought. What if the letter is not from Gabriel? Because when would he have the time to write it in the first place? It's entirely possible that the Diamond Group wanted Adrien to take Gabriel's place on the council. We'll talk more about this in another video. For now, let's keep moving. Meanwhile, Ivan is attempting a robbery with his father. Okay, is it me or all recent shows seem to represent parents in a bad light and kids seem to follow this example? Ivan does not want to help his dad, so he skips out on the robbery, but at the same time, it looks like someone's been following him. This is the same figure that's been following Marinette for several episodes now. Maybe in a different outfit, but it's definitely the same person. Is Lila basically following and stalking everyone at this point? And with Nathalie's new secret, why do I get the feeling that Lila and Nathalie are connected somehow? Which makes me wonder, is Nathalie really the one pulling the strings? Because Marinette seems to trust her completely, and that's gonna backfire on her really hard. Due to Ivan not showing up, Ivan's dad gets akumatized. His dad is so scary, even Lila is afraid of him. As for the band practice, they're actually practicing as a thank you for Miss Bustier for all the help she's done. From what I've seen, what has Miss Bustier done? She hasn't really done anything for them, as far as we know. Instead of handling problems in class, she just sends kids to the principal's office, and she never really did anything for Marinette while she was being bullied by Chloe. Honestly, Miss Mendelea was a way better teacher. She never gave in to Chloe and didn't pick favorite. Not even an akumatized supervillain, just a supervillain without powers. Great. Adrien had one thing to his name, and that was being the son of the supervillain. And now he doesn't even have that. Ironically, Ivan says the son of a supervillain cannot be a hero, and yet Cat Noir is one. Once again, Marinette, back to Ivan. Apparently being a supervillain is completely normal in Paris. So is happy. At least tries to be. Adrien needs to face his past. Marinette is only afraid that he'll hate Ladybug once he finds out the truth. I do like how Ladybug, ironically, is consoling Ivan, telling him that you don't have to make the same choices as your parents. You can make your own decision. Everything she's saying to Ivan is what she should have said to Adrien. The difference is she's afraid she'll lose him. We finally get Ivan's transformation and Julika's solo performance. The only thing I didn't like about this episode is the fight itself. It was mixed with Julika's background music and their fight in between. The fight was just okay, nothing too special. The police really be acting like they're actually doing their job. Ivan's character, okay, he's had a lot of character development throughout this episode, and I loved it. I know I've said this previously that Adrien's potential bestie and secret ally could be Wayham, but now I'm starting to think that Ivan could be a way better friend and ally. Adrien and Ivan are two sides of the same coin, and I'm hoping to see their dynamic bloom on screen. I know they don't have a lot of screen time, but maybe, just maybe. Right before the end credits, the screen zooms in onto the plushie that Adrien likes. For some reason, there's something important about it. Why else would they zoom into it? As for the end credits, this has to be the most interesting end credits from all the episodes combined. Nathalie is hosting a secret light meeting. And by that, I mean Light from Young Justice. There are exactly 12 members, each represented by a symbol. What could these symbols mean? Well, it's obvious that the diamond symbol was supposed to represent Gabriel, which is why it's the only one that does not do any vote. They knew Gabriel was monarch, and they chose to keep that a secret for some reason. The machine they refer to is another member, which is probably Kagami's mom. At first, I assumed that Nathalie was playing a double agent and was going to betray Marinette. However, she did not reveal that she knows Marinette's identity, aka Ladybug's identity. Is she playing both sides, or is she really just working as a double agent, but for the side of good? For some reason, all of them want their Ladybug and Cat Miraculous to proceed with their perfect world plan. What exactly is a perfect world plan? It could be something that has to do with this new curriculum that Miss Bustier installed. My question is, what could they possibly want with the Miraculous, with the wish? It's clear these are like super influential and rich people. They're all the people he probably invited during the Diamond Dance, which could also include Chloe's mom. It seems as though Nathalie was always supposed to bring the Miraculous to this group. Specifically because one of the members, the one with the leaves, is her dad. Looks like we'll be getting some backstory on Nathalie. One of the members called Nathalie the Diamond's Shadow, specifically, which basically confirms that the diamond was Gabriel and Nathalie was acting like the sports master, a minion. So what is her endgame really? Is she siding with Marinette? Is she double-crossing the council? What's her endgame? We don't really know anything about her. As for Lila, I feel like she could be a member of the council with the double-sided mask. The symbol that represents the double-sided mask, that's Lila, because we've seen that symbol several times in her room. But to be honest, I don't think so. This council is more of the wealthy and the influential, and Lila is none of those. But anyway, guys, what do you guys think? Will Nathalie betray Marinette in the end, or will she side with her? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to click that subscribe button. Bye!